Let's talk about thinking and boxes. So I had a boss once who was obsessed. He constantly was pushing us in management meetings and brainstorming meetings. He kept saying, guys, I need you to think outside the box here. But here's the problem. He very quickly trained us that any idea that was outside of his box was never going to get accepted in the business. And I learned something very quickly in that particular job situation, which was, it's not whether you're thinking inside the box or outside of the box. There's two very important elements about the box that are far more important than are the thoughts being inside the box or outside the box. Now, just for those of you who don't know the concept of inside the box versus outside the box, a thought that's inside the box is thoughts that are consistent with the way we've always done things. Outside the box are new things, maybe things that have never been thought before by that organization. Okay, so here are the two things that I think are much more important than whether the thoughts being talked about in your meetings are inside the box or outside. The first one is this: is your box open? So back to that boss again. So because his box was always closed, it didn't matter what great ideas we came up with. He needed to open that box to allow those decisions to potentially happen. Because as long as his box was closed, our coming up with other ideas was simply beating our head against the wall, because he was not going to make any decision that he wasn't comfortable with. The second element about thinking and boxes is what's already inside your box. So if your box is full of excellent decisions, excellent strategies, excellent thoughts, then it becomes less important to think outside of that box. We just execute what's already inside of it. But if your box is full of bad, if I was a person who swore, there's lots of words I could use in that particular situation. If your box is full of bad stuff, then any thought to be successful has to be outside of that box. So what I encourage you to do is this. I want you to look at your box. I want you to look at the decisions that you've made, the strategies you're pursuing, the things you are doing in your business right now, and ask yourself, what's in my box right now? Is my box full of quality decisions, or is it full of junk? Is my strategy sound? Are the decisions that I'm making ones that move me towards success, or are they decisions and actions that keep me where I am, or that worse, actually hurt me more and more over time? Once you've decided that, what's already inside your box, then we start looking at, okay, is your box open, and are our thoughts that we should be having inside the box or outside the box? I can tell you from experience, if you're constantly shutting down ideas that come to you from outside your box simply because they aren't yours, or this is not the way it's always been done, then I guarantee you, you're going to be losing good people. Whether those people are your team members or your customers. Bad thoughts in the box translate into lost people. Think about it. I'd love to know what you think, Caroline. So glad you're here. What do you think about all this? Does this make sense to you about the box and this analogy that I've driven with it? Anyone else? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences. Have you ever worked with a boss who was so closed down that it didn't matter how good your other ideas were? They were never going to happen? Let me know. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.